What is up guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Morgan and if you're new make sure you subscribe and turn on my post notifications to see my videos every single week. That's not necessarily true, but that is my intro that I have drilled into my head. At the very least, you can see my YouTube shorts every single day and my YouTube videos whenever I feel like uploading. In today's video, I am doing my updated everyday makeup routine because in my video last week, I did a little bit of my makeup routine in my vlog and I said that I would try to do a more in-depth tutorial. So this was the next thing I felt like filming, which is my in-depth makeup routine. So let's get straight into the video. Oh wow, I look crazy. Starting off, I should probably put my hair back, otherwise it's going to be all over my face, which we definitely don't want. And the very first thing I do, which I did in my last video, is put on a little bit of lip balm because my lips are super dry. And I just let that sit on there while I do my makeup. I'm just using Lucas Paw Paw. It doesn't have the best taste to it. It's very greasy, so I just try to use like the tiniest amount possible. I did explain in minor detail my makeup routine in my last video, so a bit of this will be repeated. So to start off, the very first thing I do is glue down my eyebrows to make them stay in place. So I use the Maybelline Super Lock Clear Brow Gel and I'm just going to brush that through. I'm actually going to brush them down first. I saw someone say if you brush them down and then up, they have the tendency to stay more. Sometimes it ends up making them go crazy. Let's hope it's not one of those days. It's got no more gel on. Wipey swipe these down. I was actually using the clear brow gel from Mecca for the longest time because it was super inexpensive, but I don't live overly close to a Mecca. It's like a 30-minute drive, which isn't too bad, but it's kind of annoying just to go there for something like that. I actually looked on Amazon at the clear brow gels they had and I picked this one and I absolutely love it, like I do with all Maybelline products. Always one eyebrow that doesn't cooperate with me, and it is usually this one. There's one little hair that I want to get rid of. Oh, usually I would do my base, but because I am doing eyeshadow, I'm going to do that first just because if there's fallout, I don't really want that to go on top of my makeup. And I'm using my favorite palette at the moment, which is the Anastasia Spice palette. I absolutely love this. The only problem with Anastasia palettes, the colors are beautiful, they go on so well, but if you even remotely drop the palettes even onto carpet, the glitter shades smash everywhere. And I've had this problem with every Anastasia palette I have ever owned. I just gotta be really careful because I have dropped this one. As you can see, the palette's a little bit destroyed. Which brush we use is I'm gonna get this shade up top. It is just sort of a light brown transition shade, and I'm just gonna lightly put it into the crease of my eye until it blends out nicely. Just wipe that away. It'll be fixed when I do the rest of it, but I'm just a little bit fussy. We don't need too much of that because it's going to blend out when I add another color to it. Found the exact brush that I want. I do really desperately need to clean my brushes. I do have the tendency to clean them every couple weeks. I don't use them too much, but I do clean them because I have acne prone skin and I want to avoid anything that can make me break out. Next I'm going to go to this darker brown shade and I'm just going to put that on the outer corner of my eye. I'm just going to brush that lightly onto the outer corner. Even if it's not perfect, it's okay because there are other makeup steps that will make this whole mess go together. It's a work in progress. Oh, that's not good. So this is why I do the eyeshadow before, because it has gone down onto my cheek. It's kind of hard as well because the sun comes from this direction. I'm doing my makeup facing this way. I didn't necessarily design my room in the best way in terms of doing makeup, considering my desk sits sideways to the window. Maybe should have thought about that in advance, but we're here now. I got all these little brushes that I'm using from Amazon, by the way. If anyone cannot tell, I have a bit of an Amazon addiction. Learned that they have free next day shipping and now I doom scroll on there every other day. I'm just going to use the super light glitter shade in the center and I'm just going to put that on the center of my eyelid to make it all blend together, and because I love glitter, I'm just going to pat that into my eyelid and hopefully it doesn't go everywhere else. Next I'm going to do my base. So I do not use foundation because it is way too much for me. It is way too hot where I live. Even though it is still winter, it's 22 degrees. Foundation, not for me. I don't want it to melt off and I don't want to use 20 million products to make it stay on. Because my skin is uneven, I just use a little bit of concealer to even that out. If I'm going somewhere, like an event, I will absolutely wear foundation or at the very least a skin tint. But in terms of everyday, day to day, all I do is kind of sit around my room, edit, film videos. There is no point in me wearing a full face of makeup. The concealer that I use is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. Love this, live for this. I go through one a month, I believe, because I use it every single day. I use the shade number 5, which I believe is like the second lightest shade. That is how pale I am. I'm just going to dot this on my cheeks, a little bit on my forehead, and then on my under eyes as well. On that, my skin is the best it has been in months. I don't think I've had any active breakouts in about 2 weeks, and I could probably happily leave the house and not feel the need to put makeup on. I still do anyways because I love wearing makeup and I'm filming videos. I actually think I'm gonna need a new one of this sometime very shortly. I'm just gonna dot that on my face. This side needs a lot less concealer. I'm gonna do a couple of dots on my forehead, and I do actually have a pimple at the top of my forehead. I think it's because I used dry shampoo and my skin didn't really like that, so on the edge of my forehead it was not impressed. Hey, oh, I nearly just dropped that on the floor. I use a damp beauty blender. This one is still damp from the last time I used it. I usually just like soak it in water every few days. This is a beauty blender from Inco Beauty, I believe. I'm just going to blend that in before it dries down and doesn't blend. In the forehead with the little pointy end, I'm going to blend out my under eyes. I actually just pat this in a little bit, and then I usually use a finger to blend it in more because I find that my finger blends it out 10 times better than the beauty blender does. Before I do any powder products, I don't use any liquid blush bronzer. I personally do not like liquid products. I feel like they never blend evenly into my skin. I also don't want 2 layers of blush for absolutely no reason. So we just do powder products because I find that the powder products set everything down nicely. Before I do that, I'm going to use setting spray because I find that when you use setting spray, I actually saw this on TikTok, you use setting spray before setting powder and it helps your makeup stay on way longer. I use the All Nighter Urban Decay, the Extra Glow one. I love the Urban Decay setting sprays. It is on the pricier side. Some of my makeup is super duper inexpensive, and then some of it is like high-end makeup brands. There is no in between. It's either one or the other, and I've spent years finding the products that I love and live for. I grew up as a dancer, and my mum was also a makeup artist when I was younger, so I have grown up around makeup, using makeup. I know what products I like, I know what products I don't like. I'm also probably going to skip past this part because when I spray it on my face I look like an absolute maniac. I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit, which doesn't make a lot of sense because I don't go anywhere and I haven't done a whole lot of talking as far as I'm aware. While that sets down, the next thing that I do, I actually don't use any contour bronzer. I do when I'm doing a full face of makeup. I don't every day to day because I have no need for it. So I'm going to use one of the Tarte Amazonian clay blushes. They come in these cute little circles. I actually own a few of these. I've got a whole little container of them, all in different colors. I believe one of them is a highlighter. One that I'm using today is probably the lightest one, is in the shade Captivating. And I'm just going to grab a fluffy brush, this is from Amazon, tap that into the blush, and then I tap it along from sort of like just under my eye up a little bit. That's where I do my blush placement. That's where I like it the most. I actually put that a little bit too close to my eye. That's okay, we can blend it downwards. We can blend. Next thing I do to set all my makeup down, I use a setting powder. This is also going to help blend out the blush a little bit more because I used too much. I use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder. This is in the shade Fair Light, which I believe is the lightest one again because I am quite a pale person. I don't really see the sunlight, which is kind of funny because I tan super easily. I just don't have the tendency to go outside. Giant fluffy brush, and I'm just going to brush that onto my face just to set my makeup down, which if you see dust flying everywhere, it's the setting powder. I think that definitely helped the blush look less bright. Wield the makeup brushes like a sword. Every time I close this, the powder goes everywhere. Next, we're going to go back round to my eyebrows, and I'm just going to fill them in with a brow pencil. This is my all-time favorite brow pencil, Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, you guessed it. I'm very predictable with my makeup brands. I have like a few products from each of my favorite brands. This is in the shade Medium Brown. I'm just going to go ahead and fill those in where the brow gel sort of made little gaps. Also going to add little tails to each side because for some reason my eyebrows kind of suck. The natural shape is terrible and there's no little tail on either side, but I can't do anything about it other than fill them in. This side is so nice. This side sits perfectly. It just doesn't have a tail. This is the problem with filming my makeup. I do my makeup before I do anything else with my day, so it is currently 1 p.m. and I haven't eaten yet, so I'm actually very hungry. I am going to wrap this up as fast as I possibly can so that I can go and eat food. So I'm going to come back around to my eyes. So I'm actually going to do eyeliner on my lower lash line with a brown eyeshadow. I'm just using this little Tarte palette which has neutral shades in it, and I'm going to use the dark brown and a flat brush. Just sort of swipe along my lower lash line. As predicted, there's actually glitter everywhere. It is all over my face, which I'm not the biggest fan of. And then to finish that off, we cannot forget mascara. So I use the Tartelette Tubing Mascara. I'm not going to curl my lashes. I was going to, but I decided against it because I don't usually. I'm going to put that on my upper lashes just because my lashes are so long that I don't need anything on them. And I just try to brush a light layer on. I also love this mascara because it doesn't clump. Lumpy lashes do not suit me. That went on almost perfectly. The final step, the pawpaw has sort of absorbed into my lips. I am going to do my lip products. I sort of change this up every day and throughout the day because nothing sort of stays on my lips all day long. Recently, I've been using the Flora tint from Benefit, which is half a lip tint, half a blush, depending on how you want to use it. I use it as a lip tint. No lip liner today because the lip liners I currently have are a little bit too dark. And then the absolute final step, I use a lip oil. So I'm using the NYX Fat Oil in the clear shade Love Lip Oil. This is my favorite one at the moment. Also got this from Amazon. And that is my completed everyday makeup routine. So I'm gonna actually take this, oh, see, my hair just stuck to my lips. I actually haven't brushed my hair today, so I'm just gonna run my fingers through it. I really need to get another haircut and a trim and more layers because my hair has grown a little bit too long for my liking and I want way more layers next time I go to the hairdresser. That is my everyday makeup routine. All the products I use, I will try to link them down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe, turn on my post notifications, follow all of my social media, which will be in the description box down below, and give this video a big thumbs up. And hopefully this is the start of weekly YouTube videos. Like I said, I make no promises because I'm really bad with sticking to weekly YouTube videos, but I'm going to try my absolute hardest. I will see you all in the next one.
He's a nice guy and I might let him